Hello students of class 6th B, this is your biology classes and welcome to your new online classes. Today's topic is modification of the leaves. Besides the primary functions such as photosynthesis and transpiration, because the basic function of the leaf is to photosynthesize and transpirate, but in some plants the leaves are modified. Modified means molded or changed to carry out some specific functions. They carry out some other functions also. Such modifications we will read further. So the first modification is leaf tendrils. What are leaf tendrils? In many weak stemmed plants, many plants whose stems are weak, the whole leaf or part of leaf gets modified, gets molded or changed into thin thread-like coiled structure which is known as leaf tendril. The tendrils provide suitable support in climbing of the weak stems. They provide as a support system in climbing of weak stems. They stretch out and coil around any suitable support to help the plant in climbing. For example, the upper leaflets of the sweet pea are modified into tendrils, as you can look here. The leaf is modified into thread-like structures which is known as leaf tendrils, and they act as a support system for the weak stems. There are some modifications given of leaf tendrils. In wild pea, the entire leaf, the whole leaf is modified into a tendril. In sweet pea, only the upper part of the leaf is modified into tendril. In Narravelia, the terminal leaflets are modified into leaflets. In glory lily, the leaf tips are modified into tendrils. In clematics, the petiole of leaf gets modified into tendril. Next type of modification is leaf spines. The first one was leaf tendrils, and they provide support system to the weak stems. What are leaf spines? The leaves of certain plants such as cactus, they get modified to provide protection and to reduce water loss. What is water loss? Transpiration. For example, in cactus plant, as you can see here, leaves are modified into spines. These are the spines. They reduce the loss of water by transpiration because cactus plant is grown in desert areas. They get very less amount of water. Where there is a scarcity of water is present, the leaf spines also protect the plants from the grazing animals like goat and sheep. Here is a fact zone given. Cactus plant do not have broad green leaves. In these plants, their thick green stems perform the process of photosynthesis and make food for the plants. Because cactus plant do not have broad leaves, so the photosynthesis process is done by the stem. Now here is an activity given. Aim to demonstrate that the process of transpiration takes place through the leaves. We will prove that the process of transpiration takes place through the leaves. Materials required: a potted plant, a plant well potted, a polythene bag to cover it, and some thread to tie the polythene bag. What is the procedure? Take a potted plant here and cover it with a clean polythene bag. We will cover it with a clean polythene bag and we will tie the thread around it. Keep the whole setup in an open area. Keep the whole setup in an open area. What is the observation? Observe the setup after a few hours. Look after few hours. What you will observe? That the polythene bag covering the plant has some water droplets on its inner surface. So the polythene bag which is well tied will be having water droplets on its inner surface. Where does this water came from and what is the name of the process? The name of the process is transpiration, and transpiration is the process of loss of water into the form of water vapor from the green parts of the plant such as leaves. Next topic is scale leaves. What are scale leaves? These are the thin and dry structures which are usually brownish in color or they are colorless. They take up the function of protecting the axillary buds. Axillary buds are present on the axil of the leaves such as in ginger. In onion, they store food prepared by the plant and become thick and fleshy. Such as you can look here. These are the parts. Next topic is modification of leaves in insectivorous plant. What are insectivorous plants? These are the plants that are adapted to grow in soil which does not have enough minerals, especially nitrogen. These plants are such as pitcher plant, Venus flytrap or bladewort. These plants feed on insects to obtain minerals because their soil does not contain enough minerals, so they take their minerals from the insects. For this, they are modified to trap the insects. They have chlorophyll in their leaves that help them in making of food. Example of some modified insectivorous plants are pitcher plant, Venus flytrap and bladewort. So first we will study about pitcher plant. In the pitcher plant, the lamina of the leaf, the flat surface of the leaf, is modified into the trapping device. To trap the insects, the leaf apex forms the lid of the pitcher and petiole coils like a tendril. As soon as the insect enters the pitcher, the lid closes and the insect gets trapped and digested by the juice secreted at the bottom of the pitcher. In such a way, they obtain their minerals from the insect. Next one is Venus flytrap. In this plant, the edges of the leaves have long pointed hairs. The lamina of the leaf is divided into two parts, having a midrib in between like a hinge. When an insect visits the plant, the leaf suddenly closes, the whole part of the leaf closes, and the insect gets trapped and digested by the juice secreted by the leaf. Next one is bladewort. So the leaves of the bladewort are highly segmented, highly differentiated. Some segments form bladder-like structures. And when an insect enters through the opening, it gets trapped. The insect cannot come from the opening and get digested by the juice secreted by the leaves. In this way, bladewort trap the insects and obtain their minerals from them. Here is a diagram given of pitcher plant, Venus flytrap, and the bladewort. Our next topic is vegetative propagation in leaves. So what is vegetative propagation? In some plants, a new plant can be developed from the vegetative parts like roots, stem or leaves. As we know, a plant requires seed to grow, but in some cases, a new plant can be developed from the vegetative parts of the plant such as roots, stem or leaves. This process is known as vegetative propagation. Some plants such as Bryophyllum and Begonia produce adventitious buds on their leaves margin. These buds, such as here, they produce buds on their leaf margins. When the leaf of such plants flow on the moist soil, these buds, when the leaf drops, these buds develop into new plantlets, and the leaves of such plants are thick and fleshy. Thus, they provide enough food and water to the new plantlets, and they grow into a new plant by themselves. Next point is activity 5. Aim to observe vegetative propagation in leaves. So what is the procedure? First, take a pot half filled with soil. Second, take a leaf from Bryophyllum plant. Gently pluck some new plantlets also from the margins of the leaf. Third, now plant them in the pot and leave the pot for few days in an open area where sufficient amount of light and air is available. Don't forget watering the pot. Leave the pot for few days. So what you will observe, after a few days, you will see that small new plants sprouting out from the pot. So this is known as vegetative propagation. Now your chapter is completed and here is some exercise given. Question number 1, name them. Second, fill in the blanks. This is your homework and you have to do by yourself in your bio copy.